Hi, Melford Bibens here, and I'm with my good bud, Dr. Mark DeBrinket, and we're going to talk about the Shaklee lifestyle. Now, this is a very fun video because, Mark and I are real good buds. We go mountain biking together, we go dirt biking together, we do a lot of fun stuff together, and the reason we can do that is because of the Shaklee lifestyle. It's not that we have these big buckets of money laying around. It's cool having big buckets of money, don't get me wrong, but it's the lifestyle that the money has created for us. Making a ton of cash is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm never going to complain about making great money. But if you can't use that to get the lifestyle you want, to go out and play with your buddies, to go out and play with your kids, then it really is worthless. Okay? So that's why I wanted to bring about a video that's just about the lifestyle. Now, something that's very unique about Mark is he actually grew up in the Shaklee lifestyle. His folks started in Shaklee back in 1977. So he has the killer Shaklee lifestyle story. So it's not only what the life that we have as buddies now, playing around, enjoying life now, but it's him growing up from a little kid living in that Shaklee lifestyle. So rock and roll. Let's hear it.
Awesome. Thanks, Mel. Well, I was 7 years old, and my brother was 10 when my folks first got into Shaklee. And I remember how excited they got initially and how they said, I remember them distinctly sitting us down and saying that your mother and I really want to run for this thing, and we're going to stick our nose down and we're going to run as fast and hard as we can, and we're going to make it to this position called master coordinator within the next couple years. And then for the rest of your life and all of our lives as a family, it'll be forever different. So you're on your own for dinner. You're going to have to figure that out because we're going to do meetings every night and we're going to be out and about and rocking in this business and making it happen. And so we were like, okay, that's wonderful. Well, again, in 2 short years or 3 years from the time they first started, they made master coordinator, which was the top level in the business. And we went from average Joe family, 2 kids, 2 cars, 4 people, 4-bedroom house. And we moved into this beautiful palace. I mean, it was so big that I remember when we first moved in, I used to get lost trying to find our way around inside this house. And we would never have had that kind of lifestyle if it wasn't for Shaklee. On top of that, they wined and dined us and traveled us all over the world, from Switzerland to Germany to Rome to Hawaii several times, always 5-course meals. They'd rent castles. We'd have dinner in castles, and they'd have knights on armor and shining armor racing around the castle, and people on stilts and swallowing swords. And they'd take us on a special boat over to France for the night and have a whole city that they shut down and with a moat around it. And everybody in the city vacated, and it was just for us 300 top achievers to come in and have dinner in these little quaint little towns. And I mean, we have seen and traveled the world so many places that, and I even remember when I was like, I don't know, 10 or 12, we'd be in Switzerland, and back then camcorders were like, you'd have to carry half the VCR on your shoulder and then half this big thing. And my parents would pay us to videotape the castles they were taking us to. And I remember it'd be hot and I'd be sweating in another church, another castle. Oh, geez. But, a few years later, once I got into school and we're going through history class and I'm seeing the Louvre and I'm seeing all these, Eiffel Tower and all these different places, I'm like, hey, I've been there. I've been there. Yeah, I've been there, done that. And I remember all the experiences and the gardens and just all the adventure that we went on. And I didn't remember so much of carrying the VCR and all those torture things. But, I lived a life that most people dreamed about. We would do things that I would sit back thinking, if we had all the money in the world, we wouldn't even think about creating this type of a trip for us right now. Yeah. And the transportation was covered, the tips to the people, the food, all of the events and everything that we did. All on Shaklee's tab. It was life-changing. And as we said in earlier videos, I met friends because they were kids of my parents' friends that every year on all these trips, we would all hook up at exotic places around the world and just have a blast for a week and sometimes 2 weeks, 2 weeks a year. And so they have always gone above and beyond what you expect. And they hold those incentive trips out there and all the different bonus things that we have been able to achieve. And I tell you, the money's great, the lifestyle's great, having time and freedom with my family is great, but a big hot button for us is traveling. And we have traveled the world Shaklee style. And once you've done it Shaklee style, I tell you, there's no going back. Traveling without is just not the same thing. And another thing about that whole lifestyle thing is I can remember when I was growing up, 10, 11, 12 years old, playing football, playing baseball, playing basketball, doing martial arts. I remember my dad being on the sidelines for all these events. And you know what? He was the only dad there. And I'm looking around, and I can distinctly remember one day when one of my teams on my football team, teammates turned around and he said, hey, how come your dad's always here? Doesn't he work? And I remember looking at him and saying, yeah, my dad works. He just works smarter, not harder. And I'd turn around and walk away, and they'd be sitting there like in disbelief. Like, what's that mean? Right. But you know what? I thought at that time, I said, you know what? They've proven that it's possible. By all means, no matter what I choose to do in my life, I was too young to really know what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. But I knew I wanted that Shaklee lifestyle. And I knew that Shaklee had been around for so long, right, and that it's going to be around in the future. Mm-hmm. I was even fortunate enough when I was, I guess, 10, 11 years old at the Shaklee's 25th Jubilee in San Francisco to actually sit on Dr. Shaklee's lap in the middle of the whole convention with thousands of people out there and have him speak in his deep voice these words of wisdom. And I don't remember exactly what he said, something about what you think you are, what you think you do, and what you think you become, things like that. And as a kid, man, it just impacted me so much. And I knew that my folks wrapped their life around this guy's philosophy and his business and all the perks and the benefits that were coming. I knew that this is a company that's been around for a while, and I'm going to be around for a while with this company for the rest of my life. And it only has kept getting better. Every single year, more incentives, more money, easier to do business, easier to make it happen, easier to bring people in. Less work we have to do, and more delegation the company's taken over to do all the tedious work. Right. You know, and so we get to literally share the Shaklee dream, open up doors for people, and it is a gift that keeps on giving. And in return, it blesses us with lots of great money and these wonderful incentive trips so that we can take time to recharge our batteries. And I tell you, every trip we've ever gone on, for about 2 months after we get back from that trip, our business skyrockets. Something about the energy and the dynamics of getting there with all of your friends, feeding off each other, learning what they're doing, telling them what we've done, and sharing all of that information. We come back and we're psyched for the next trip. Can't wait till next year. And it is proven that everybody that attends these conventions, their business grows rapidly within the next few months and within that year afterwards. So I urge you, for those of you that love traveling, but maybe never justify it because you're trying to get ahead of the game and save your money, and you know you need to recharge, but you just don't do it, let Shaklee pay for it for you. I mean, they put it out there for you. They want more than anything to send you, your family, your kids, your friends. They want to send all of you on these exotic trips. And you know what? It is so easy to qualify. Just do what other people have done before you. Don't reinvent the wheel. Lay down a plan of action and just go for it. You know, you shoot for the stars. You're going to make it happen.
One of the most important points that he touched upon is how easy it has gotten compared to what it was when his folks were doing it. Absolutely. You know, he got to tell cool stories about when he was a kid and his folks doing their thing. But now it's the folks of our generation. It's the, you know, the 30s, the 40s, even the 20-year-olds that are seeing these goals come so much faster. And it's purely because of the internet. I mean, exactly where you're seeing us right now is why it's become so much easier, and why, you know, folks like us, guys in their 30s, can get out there and make these levels so much faster. You know, one thing that Roger's doing is he's going to make sure that we're in 50 countries within the next 5 or 6 years. I mean, if you can touch people in 50 countries, I mean, just think about it. Just take 1 second, pause. Okay, think about that. You communicating with people from all different countries and all different languages, sharing this with them, talking about these lifestyle things. And it's only happened in the last few years, and it's because of the advent of the internet. You know, it was a real handshake business, and it still is. But now you can virtually shake hands with people in China and Taiwan. You know, so many different countries are coming up, and it's just because of the internet that's made it so much easier to both, you know, make the money in the first place, to get you qualify for the trips, but also to have the money in the bank to be able to live the lifestyle you want. So, you know, this is it, man. It just doesn't get any easier. We're psyched because, you know, we sort of stumbled into Shaklee at the best time. You know, he got to live through the greatness of Shaklee during the hard times, during when you were plugging along and you were doing your thing. It's easy now. I mean, this is like, get out there, get your websites built, use all the little tricks that we're going to teach you. And it's going to make it real easy to get to these goals you need to get to. So again, lifestyle is everything. It's not about the money. It's not about the work. It's not about anything else. It's about the lifestyle that all these things are going to give you. So that's it, guys. Have a great life. Thanks.